Once upon a time, I watched this video made by this guy named The Real Rhino. He's a great creator. Go ahead and check him out. I'm already going to put his link down in the description. But this video intrigued me. It was the anti-gravity cube video he made. It got a lot of views, and well, that's not why I'm making the video, but it rejuvenated my love for odd gadgets. The anti-gravity cube is definitely not something you see in every single game. I haven't really seen it implemented in any other game like it has been in the finals, and that makes it extremely unique and also a gadget no one actually gravitates to, pun intended. Because of this, no one uses it. So when I saw this video get tens of thousands of views, I was like, okay, we're going to see this thing, except we don't see this thing at all. I play a lot of this game. I don't see a lot of the anti-gravity cube. So I try to play it out, and well, we're going to see what happened here. The anti-gravity cube is a very unique gadget. Not because, well, it's anti-gravity. I mean, that alone by itself is very unique. There's only another gadget in the game, the gravity vortex, that has something anywhere near the capabilities of the anti-gravity cube. But the anti-gravity cube is used in such a way that it's not implemented in any other game like at all. This is probably the most unique gadget I've ever seen in any video game. Now let's go ahead and talk about what is the anti-gravity cube, because if you're new, you might have never seen this before. You used it once, had no clue what was happening, and never touched it again. And I don't blame you. This thing, at first, it looks intimidating. And in practice, it is not. It is very easy to use. You literally just throw it, and then that's when the magic happens. What happens here, you throw the gravity cube down, and it makes this radius circle, more like a cylinder technically, that's what the shape of this thing is, about 8 meters in diameter and 4 meters away from the cube. So you have a circle here that the cube makes with a radius of 4 meters, so not a small amount of space that this thing is taking up. So when you throw this down, it makes this bubble that isn't really anti-gravity. If anything, it pushes you up a little bit, but it's anti-gravity in a sense with when you have momentum going into this cylinder, it carries that momentum. So if you jump right at this perfect moment where you enter the cube's cylinder, that cylinder is going to carry your momentum. So you can get some crazy elevation when you jump at the right angle. And that's probably the biggest tip you want to use. If you want to use this for mobility, jump at the right time, right on the edge of the circle, and you're going to get some crazy height going. But you're also going to be a little bit vulnerable because you don't have a lot of movement inside of the cylinder itself. You have to rely on the momentum you gained outside of the cylinder because you're not going to be gaining a lot inside of it at all. That brings me to how you can use this thing offensively. So I'm going to be piggybacking off of a lot of points that the Real Rhino has used. That's why I'm going to link his channel and the video down in the description, because that was the main source of information I've gotten outside of my experience with the cube itself. I put a few hours in it. Not nearly as much as him, so I do recommend checking out that video. He explained it to where if you throw it just like a regular grenade, it has the same trajectory, same everything like a grenade, except it deploys faster. That's the first thing I noticed when using this thing. It doesn't deploy like a regular grenade, it deploys like immediately. It's like it shoots out of your arm instead of you throwing it. It just deploys really quickly. So you're gonna have to get used to that if you're just used to throwing grenades, which is what I am used to. But outside of the deployment time, it acts just like a regular grenade. So you have the same distance you could throw at it, the same arch. So in practice, it's just like a regular grenade. So if you throw it at an enemy, they're not expecting it to be thrown at you. They think of a grenade, but it doesn't have the indicator, which makes this thing a little bit better because they might not even know it's happening until it happens, you know? It lifts them up a tiny bit. If you have no momentum with this thing, you're a sitting duck, basically. You can move a tiny bit, but not nearly enough for you to strafe back and forth to dodge any ammo that is being thrown at them. So that means that's a free kill for you, basically. You throw it at the right time. If someone isn't moving, they can't move inside of the gravity cube when they're not moving before you deploy it. So the biggest counter of this thing is always stay moving. Sometimes they're just not going to. They're not going to think to always counter the anti-gravity cube because no one uses it, which is kind of perfect. If you guys do want to use it, they're not going to expect you to use the gravity cube, which makes for free kills, basically. But the main way to use the anti-gravity cube is stalling the cash out, and in some cases stealing it as well. So this thing lifts up pretty much everything, depending on the weight of some objects. Like let's say half a building falls off, that gravity cube isn't going to lift that. I have tried that, but it does lift out cash outs, barrels, random pots, plants, chairs, desks. Anything that has its own hitbox and it's light enough to be moved, it moves. So that means you can lift up a cash out to a different floor. For a stall, you can use the goo gun, which is what the Real Rhino uses, to block off a floor that he lifted the cash out from, goo off that floor, and then he just steals it without anyone being able to get up to the cash out because the gravity cube, sure, it's there, but the goo traps it off. That's a great way to steal the cash out because one, they have no clue what's going on. It's an anti-gravity cube. No one knows how to use the thing. No one knows how to counter the thing unless you watch this video, which if you do know how to counter it, maybe you should, show the support. Maybe like, subscribe. I don't know. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. But since I don't use the goo gun a lot, which is probably something I should change into the future if I'm going to continue using the anti-gravity cube. The goo gun by itself is a great stalling mechanism. You just shoot them. The line of sight is disrupted. There you go. That is they can't do anything. They just have to either kill you or try to steal again, and then you just shoot them again, so on and so forth. The anti-gravity cube makes it to where sure, they're going to continue to steal the cash out while they're in the anti-gravity cube, but it also makes them easier to shoot at. So let's say they're hiding behind a desk or something. They're hiding behind a wall. You can throw the anti-gravity cube. They're still stealing it, sure, but you're also shooting at them now because they're above the wall. You have a line of sight to then shoot at them. And then after they're dead, someone has to go up there to steal it or shoot the gravity cube. So let's say they don't shoot the gravity cube and just try to jump up there with the momentum that I talked about earlier. Sure, they're going to get there quicker, but they're still going to be sitting ducks unless they have goo to cut yourself off from it, or they break the ceiling to raise it a bit, but no one knows how to counter the anti-gravity cube. None of this matters if the cube is broken. So the best way to keep the cube from breaking is if you throw the cube underneath the floor of the cash out. A little tip with the anti-gravity cube, if you put it on the same floor, it's still going to work just as effectively, but it makes it a lot more vulnerable. That's where all the action's going to go on, right? A lot of explosions, bolts flying all over the place. People are going to see it much more clearly because it's still outlined with your team's color. So they're going to be able to see it. But if it's a floor below, not as many people are going to be down there unless they're trying to drop the cash out, which isn't really where the anti-gravity cube is best at, in my personal opinion. It's still useful, but it could be better if they're coming from above. Use the anti-gravity cube on the bottom floor. It still works with that cylinder that I was talking about. Still goes through the floors and all that, which is good because they can't shoot at the gravity cube if there's a whole wall block in it. So they really have to work at it. They have to go down the floor. They have to waste their time. If the anti-gravity cube is wasting all this time, that's good for you, especially if you have the cash out. But hiding the cube is important. Almost as important as how you're using the cube. So like a perfectly executed, perfect throw, perfect everything, none of it matters if it's out in the open and just gets shot at 2 seconds later. But if you execute everything perfectly hidden away to where no one can shoot at it, you're raising it, everyone else is getting raised, you're raising the person to shoot at it, you're doing everything perfectly. If it's used up all the way, Embark made a little buff to it to where the cooldown is a lot shorter. So that means after like 5 seconds of the first cube dissipating, you can just throw another one 5 seconds later. And then you just keep doing that over and over again. So in theory, you can keep the cash out mid-air for as long as you want. If you don't die, if your teammates are playing with you, so you don't die. And if you keep using that gravity cube perfectly every single time, that's what makes this thing so good. Because it's good, not just because no one knows how to counter it, but it's good even if people do know how to counter it. But if you know how to use it better than they know how to counter it, you're set for the round, basically. Now, for the sake of transparency, most of my knowledge comes from other players using the gravity cube, how they mostly use it against me. I got a couple good plays with it, but I am not a gravity cube expert. I still like my pyro mods, to be completely honest. But the gravity cube, there is a lot of potential with it. And even the dev note from season 7, when they buffed the gravity cube to make the cooldown a lot shorter from 35 seconds to 28 seconds, they said, we think this gadget is really cool and people aren't using it. So hopefully this buff makes it to where people are using it. And guess what? No one's using it. So hopefully this video is, if anything, just a way to say, hey, this gadget's really cool. Maybe people should try it out every once in a while. If you guys are trying it out, my job is complete and I'm happy. So let me get your guys' thoughts down in the comments. Have you guys tried out the anti-gravity cube? Knowing how the last couple videos have been going, I have summoned every single gravity cube main to either love me or hate me. So if we do have some gravity cube diehard fans down there, let me know what I got right. Let me know what I got wrong. Let me improve. Because the more I improve, the more eligible I am to destroy you guys on the battlefield. But yeah, you guys have it going, all right?